Hey guys, welcome to a very exciting chapter of our grade 7 textbook working with HTML tags and CSS. To start with tags, they are used in a markup language to instruct the browser about how to display the content. And CSS is a language used to describe reusable styles for presenting documents written in a markup language. Let's now get deeper and learn about HTML tags. Tags are the fundamental elements of an HTML document. Let us learn about some basic HTML tags and their attributes. The first is body tag. The body tag is used to specify the main content of the HTML document that is displayed on a web page. It helps to define basic document layout with the help of its attributes. This is the body syntax. Let's look at the attributes of body tag. You can change the web page background, text color, margins, link colors, etc. using attributes of the body tag. These are some of the important attributes of the body tag. Starting with background, it is used to insert an image in the background of a web page. The value of this attribute is the file name along with its full path. Syntax, body language is equal to file path. Then there is BG color, which is background color. It is used to set the background color of the web page. You can specify the value of this attribute either in the form of color name or a hexadecimal code. Syntax, body BG is equal to color name. Third is text. It is used to specify the color of the text in a web page, which is by default displayed in black color. Syntax body text is equal to color name. Then we have left margin. It is used to set the margin from the left side of a web page. The value of this attribute is specified in pixels. Syntax body left margin, value in pixels. Next is top margin. It is used to set the margin from the top of a web page. The value of this attribute is also specified in pixels. Syntax body top margin, value in pixels. Sixth attribute is link. It is used to specify the color of the unvisited hyperlinks in a web page. The web browsers use the blue color to mark the unvisited links by default. To change it from blue to some other color, you can use this attribute. Syntax body link is equal to color name. Then there is a link. When the link in the document is clicked, it gets activated. HTML allows setting the color of the active link using the alink attribute in the body tag. The default color is red. Syntax body alink is equal to color name. And lastly, the eighth attribute is vlink. This attribute is used to set the color of the visited hyperlink in the document, that is, the links which are clicked to open the associated web page. The default color is purple. Syntax body vlink is equal to color name. And this would be our output. Let's learn about the paragraph tag now. To display the text in a paragraph format on your web page, you can use the paragraph tag. It looks something like this. It is a container tag. The text enclosed in this tag appears in the new line with some extra space from the contents typed before it. This tag has the align attribute. This attribute is used to align the text in the paragraph. Here are the different values. Align is equal to center is to place the text in the center. Align is equal to left is place the text to the left side. Align is equal to right. Place the text on the right side. Align is equal to justify, which is it aligns the text from left and right margins. Now about the line break tag. The browser does not recognize new lines in the text. If you want to start a new line, you need to insert a line break with the help of BR tag. The BR tag, which is the line break tag, is an empty tag. which means it does not have a closing tag. It is used to start a new line. The syntax is BR. Moving on, let's learn about adding comments in HTML. A comment is the text in the source code of an HTML document which is not displayed by the browser on the web page. These are used by the web page designer to add references in the web document. Sometimes they are used to hide some of the web page contents when these are not to be removed permanently from the web page. There are two ways to add comments in a web document. First one being use comment tag by enclosing the text or web page contents into the comment tag, which is a container tag, the syntax for which is this. For the second is using this tag by enclosing the text between the angular bracket followed by an exclamation mark and two hyphens. And its syntax is this. Now about text formatting tags. The web page contents can be in different modes like text, graphic, animation, videos, etc. To display the text in an attractive and presentable manner, HTML provides various text formatting tags to work with the font setting and to add special effects like bold, italic, underline, superscript, subscript, etc. Next is font tag. This tag defines the font size, color, and face of a text in the HTML document. This tag is also commonly referred to as the font element. This is a container tag and the effect of this tag depends on the value assisted to its different attributes. It means the tag is ineffective without at least one attribute described in this tag. There are three attributes in this tag. First is face. This attribute is used in the font tag to change the typeface of the text enclosed in this tag. The value of this attribute is the font name enclosed in the double quotes. If the browser supports that font type, the enclosed text is displayed in that font. Its syntax is font face is equal to font name. Next is color. This is used to change the default font color. The color value can be specified in the form of color name or color code, and the syntax is here. The last attribute is size. It changes the font size of enclosed text. The value of this attribute can be in the range of 1 to 7. The default font size value is 3, as the value less than 3 will reduce the font size, whereas more than 3 will increase the font size. An example of the code would be this, and this would be the output. Next up is the center tag. This is used to position the enclosed content centrally across the web page. It is a container tag. This tag can also be used to center the objects like text, images, etc. on a web page. And the syntax for this is this. Let's look at character formatting tags. A tag that is applied to an individual character is known as a character tag. You can format the tag in your web page by making it bold, italicized, or underlined. There are various character formatting tags. Bold tag is a container tag and has no attributes. It is mainly used to change the text to bold typeface, which helps in highlighting important contents of the document. The syntax would be this. Next is italic tag. It adds a special effect to the enclosed tag by displaying it in italic style. This is also a container tag and has no attribute. Its syntax is this. Third is underline tag. This tag is used to underline the text which is enclosed in this tag. It is also a container tag with no attributes. Its syntax is this. Then the superscript tag. This is a special text formatting tag which is used to display the text in the subscripted format. The subscripted text appears slightly above the normal text line. This is a container tag and is mostly used to display the mathematical terms, the syntax of which is this. Fifth and lastly is subscript tag. This tag is also one of the container tags, just like the subscript tag, which has no attribute. It is used to display the text in subscripted form. This form is generally used to display the chemical formula and its syntax. An example of the code would be this, with an output of this. And now, let's move to the second major topic of our chapter, which is CSS, also known as cascading style sheets. They are used to format the layout of a web page. CSS is very important or useful when you want to add similar styling to all the web pages of a website, and it is widely used in HTML, JavaScript, and other scripting languages. Let's now quickly learn about some benefits of CSS. The first is that it saves time. HTML provides the raw tools needed to structure content on a website. CSS, on the other hand, helps to style this content so that it appears to the user the way it was intended to be seen. Second is easy maintenance. One of the main benefits of CSS is that it enables programmers to divide the content from its presentation layer. CSS allows the designer to use a single file to control the style and layout of several web pages inside a single website. Therefore, by modifying a single style sheet, you can alter the design of the entire web page. Next is fast web page loading. Style sheet doesn't require downloading with each request for a web page because multiple pages of the same website share a single CSS file, rather than loading the style sheet classes from the server every time. Lastly is that it is printer friendly. Style sheets can be used to create printer friendly web pages. CSS enabled web pages can be easily printed. The colors, images, and other attributes which are difficult to be printed can be printed easily by style sheets. Let's learn about CSS syntax now. CSS works by associating rules with HTML elements. These rules govern how the content of specified elements should be displayed. A CSS rule contains two parts. First part is the selector. It indicates the HTML element you want to style. It could be any tag like P, H1, title, etc. The same rule can be applied to more than one element if you separate the element names with commas. And the second part is the declaration block. The declaration block indicates how the elements referred to its selector should be styled. Declarations are split into two parts, a property and a value, and are separated by a colon. CSS declarations are written inside curly brackets. Remember that, okay? Properties indicate the aspect of the element you want to change. For example, color, font, width, height, and border. And values specify the settings you want to use for the chosen properties. For example, if you want to specify a color property, then the value is the color name in which you want the text to be displayed. Now let's learn about the types of CSS. There are three types. Starting with the first one, the inline style sheet is used to apply a unique style to a single HTML element. It uses the style attribute of an HTML element. For example, the following sets the text color of the H1 element to red. Here is the code and the output of it. The inline style sheet is not efficient as the declaration is to be repeated for every element even if the same style is applied to some other element in a document. The effects applied are limited to the element with which the style declaration has been specified. Let's move on to the second type. The internal style sheets exist within an HTML page between the head and the head tags. Here is an example. Using internal style sheets, the effects get applied to all the elements of the type with which the style declaration has been specified. Now on to the third and last type of CSS. The external style sheets are useful because you can link them to more than one HTML document. This method incorporates two files, one containing the style code and the other containing the HTML code. The style code can be written in any text editor and must be saved with an extension CSS. It should not contain any HTML tags. This is an example of style sheet CSS code. These two files are linked to each other using this tag in HTML. The link tag is written inside the head tag of HTML. Its syntax is as following. An example is given here. Well then, let's see how to go about using CSS. Firstly, working with the background. The CSS background properties are used to add background effects to a web page for elements. Two most commonly used CSS background properties are background color and background image. Let's see what CSS background color is. Colors help to make the text attractive and easy to read on a web page. There are three ways to specify colors in CSS: through RGB values, hex codes, and color names. It is important to ensure that there is enough contrast between any text and the background color. The syntax is the following: body, open curly bracket, background color, RGB values or hex code or color names, curly bracket close. An example of the code and the output is this. Let's learn about CSS background image now. The background image property specifies an image to use as the background of a web page. By default, the image is repeated so that it covers the entire element web page. This is the syntax, and an example is this. Moving to the CSS background position now. The background position property can specify where in the browser window the background image should be placed. By default, a background image is placed at the top left corner of a web page and is repeated both vertically and horizontally. This is the syntax: background position, value, where value is equal to this. The default value are 0, 0. This places the background image at the top left of the browser window. Now let's see the CSS background repeat. The background repeat CSS property sets how background images are repeated. A background image can be repeated along the horizontal and vertical axis, or not repeated at all. This is its syntax. The background repeat property can have four values. First is no repeat, the image is only shown once. Second is repeat X, the image is repeated horizontally only. Third is repeat Y, the image is repeated vertically only. And the fourth is repeat. The background image is repeated both horizontally and vertically. Here is an example. Let's learn about the last section of the chapter, which is CSS font. Choosing the right font has a huge impact on how the readers experience a website. To set fonts of the content available in an HTML element, the following font properties of an element must be set. First is that the font family property is used to change the face of a font. There are two types of font family names. Family name, which is the name of a font family like Times, Courier, Arial, etc. And generic family, which is the name of a generic family like serif, sans serif, cursive, fantasy, and monospace. Second property is that the font style property is used to make a font italic, oblique, normal, initial, and inherit. Next, the font variant property is used to create a small caps effect. The font weight property is used to increase or decrease how bold or light a font appears. The font size property is used to increase or decrease the size of the font. And the font property is used as a shorthand to specify the number of other font properties. This is an example. With that, we have come to an end of our chapter. working with HTML tags and CSS. Hope you go far with this knowledge, and until then, see you!